You look good. You both look fucking gorgeous.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
We're all turning into silver foxes.
Primarily Critical.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Primarily Critical of Movies and an After Party. This would be it.
Yeah, if you have not seen this film, we suggest that you do so before listening any further.
Because we got spoilers, trivia, and opinions like crazy, and we cannot wait to share them.
Good, bad, new, old, weird, or gross.
We will pass judgment on them all.
Today, if you're ever caught in a cage by cannibals, you know now that masturbating will not help.
Oh,
Oh my God! Yes.
you went there, eh? You went there right to that.
Yeah. I think it. Yeah. Well, we'll address that at some point for sure. But Phil, I think you should start opening up and explain yourself.
Okay. So, I got to looking on, I Googled, show me the top 20 scariest movies. And they showed me the list of Shining and The Exorcist and blah, blah, blah. And then I said, Google, show me the most graphic movies, the most R-rated movies that you got. And this popped up. And I said, okay, what's this all about? And here we are. We're talking about it.
I'm familiar with Eli Roth.
Yes.
I like some of his movies.
Hostile. That's one.
Hostile was a big one.
Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods. I've heard good things, but I haven't seen it. And I went to the Goratorium in Las Vegas, which was his personal little side project. John, are you familiar with Eli Roth?
I did see Cabin in the Woods, but otherwise than that, not really. No.
Okay.
I want to say something about this movie though. I thought the movie was well done. Like there's nothing, the filming, everything, but I hate so much about what this movie stands for. Like I don't like the message it's sending.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I hate a lot about it.
I'm very excited about unpacking this movie with you, John, Steve, because I think this is a great movie about the commentary on our world, environmentally, about sustainability, about all those things. Let's talk about it.
I really like The Roommate. Do you remember The Roommate at the beginning of the movie?
Oh yes, she's like the typical
Yeah,
slacker.
She's got
like the
Gothish kind of.
bleached hair. She's and she's got this really bad attitude. One of the first things she says is activism is so fucking gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I laughed too much at that. Anyway, it's just so this the main character goes to the Amazon, Peru, to activate for to be an activist.
Activists, yes, they're going to try to stop the removal of forestry for gas profit, right? So that's their motivation. But shit
I'm just
goes
waiting
wrong.
to tear this thing apart, so I'm letting you guys talk.
Okay, where do you want to take it? Where do you want to go with this, John?
Well, okay, I don't know where to begin because there's lots. I'll start with this movie. Really, just likes to feed on stereotypes. Like,
sure,
it's full of them, and it's full. It's almost like misinformation put into a movie, and it's like. It starts with the stereotype that activists are really a bunch of people that are idiots. I feel like the activists aren't really represented well. So it kind of like makes that people that are fighting on behalf of Earth, for the Earth are idiots. Because every one of them is pretty, she's in the beginning, you get the impression that she's not in it for any real love of being an activist. she kind of seems to have a crush on the main guy. That seems to be the gist of why. So that plays in the stereotype that these activists are a bunch of rich college kids that just are doing something to be trendy or cool, right? I hate that. I don't like that because I don't believe that's really what activists are about. That's just a kind of a Hollywood spin on activism. I'm sure there's the element, we've all known those people in high school or college that were kind of like that, but they've blown it up into that. I just don't like that representation. So, but worse than that, the way they portrayed the classic thing of indigenous people and the natives of being complete savages is despicable.
Yeah?
It's absolutely
why?
Because there's no, you know how many morons are going to watch this and think that this is based so loosely on the fact that there's one story that comes out of in the Amazon that and it's not even been verified, that there was a case of it was apparently some mayor in some town said what happened to this it was a handicapped guy or whatever, and he said, well, they're cannibals out there. And that's how this rumor mill began. And so that's it. The tribe that they're actually talking about here, there's people that have lived amongst them and peacefully with them, that Western people have gone to study them and stuff. Yet they're being portrayed, that particular tribe is being portrayed in this way as absolute savages. Can you imagine if you in this day and age trying to get away portraying an individual as that, making a movie about someone and using their real name and trying to make them look like there's something completely that they're not, and so vulgar and so offensive as they did in this movie? I think that's appalling. I don't think they should. I think it just sends the wrong message. So I should have let you guys talk more because now I'm taking much too serious.
John, I think this was a Grindhouse kind of style movie, right? It's like, come on, man, don't do serious about this movie. They're just picking a place on Earth, Peru, where cannibals still exist. Like, they are so. I'm fascinated with that idea.
No, they don't. They don't still exist. That's what I'm saying. That's a complete fabrication.
No, in this movie, in this fictional movie.
Oh, I see. In the fiction. Okay.
In this story.
Yeah.
You got me wrong. Well, I don't know what you think. I really believe this happened. This is a movie. This is entertainment.
Yeah,
this is entertainment, guys.
All right. Yeah.
Were you entertained? Like, let me ask you that question. Did you enjoy this movie?
I gotta say, it looked to me, it looked. I disagree with you, John. To me, it looked like a bunch of guys trying to have, or guys, I say that asexually, going out and having as much fun as possible in the jungles of the Amazon. That's what it looked like to me. Yeah,
the guys making the movie.
The guys making the movie. They went out there and they wanted to have as much fun as possible. Cannibals, let's make a movie about cannibals.
Sure.
It's a horror movie.
Yeah.
Well, Eli Roth that's kind of his thing.
That's his thing. I consider him. Maybe this is a little too much. I think he's like the Tarantino of horror movies. No.
Well, hey, I thought.
Like,
listen, I thought the gore was extremely shocking,
and wasn't it well done? Wasn't the gore well done?
The gore was too well done. Whereas I would say Quentin Tarantino, Tarantino, he goes overboard with the blood. Where you can have, it still has that kind of classic '80s laughability that he goes so over the top with it, right? But this didn't. It was way too real. I mean, oh my God, the gore was gory. I mean, and it was believable. It was gory, really, right?
Yeah. And then that one dude, the first dude they chop up.
Yeah. Oh my God. Did not set. Okay, I actually looked at.
His name was Daniel.
Oh, let me look here. And he was like the sweet guy of the gang, right?
Yeah,
he was a sweet guy.
No one wanted him to die.
But he wasn't that sweet because he was at the bidding. He manipulated what's her face to go on that. He was in cahoots with the leader guy because he knew that she was
There's a lot of shady stuffs going on, right? Because it sets up the movie and there's twists within the movie. I find this movie a very strong commentary on not eating meat.
Yeah, well, there's that.
There's that.
Yeah,
That's an
there's
angle.
that, yeah.
There's many. I
Yeah.
think there's this movie opens up a lot of discussion. I think there's a lot to discuss. And
I agree. I mean, well, to me,
I'm all about this. Sorry, go ahead, John.
Well, no, I think you bring up a really good point, because here's the thing: is that where is the acceptable lines of what's fiction and what's offensive, right? And I usually on the side of that, like saying, hey, you should have freedom of expression. You should be able to do whatever you want, and if it offends people, too bad, right? But I and so that's generally how I sit. And so this one, yeah, you bring up a good point. This is just fiction. This is a horror movie, and there's no reason to get offended about it. I just think it's too pointed that based on
you
really,
can be offended. Be offended.
But the thing is they took an actual already something that historically has been bastardized and misunderstood. So people already walk around thinking there's cannibals in the Amazon forest because they've been misinformed about currently. Yes, they do. This is a misconception. Wikipedia, people think this shit goes on there because of that story, right? And so then you're really already taking what people are already misinformed walking around, what we know about the natives of the Amazon, and you're just making it worse, right? But let's back up and you're saying it is just a movie, and people have a right to make fiction. It's just a story. No one's claiming it's true. It's not a documentary. And if it was a documentary, well, then you sue them for, misinformation, whatever the fuck that is. Defamation. Yeah, exactly. So let's just, I'll drop it. Let's go on the merit of that. This is a fictional movie, and I'll leave it at that. So let's carry on with the fictional talk. Let's get on it.
Is it believable that this guy just decides to masturbate in the cage?
I thought that was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Yeah,
ridiculous.
But he was an asshole. He was
ridiculous. Okay.
They made that character a complete and utter despicable, awful person, and they're not holding back. They never redeemed him at any point in the movie.
No.
So I get that.
The thing, what's so ridiculous about that is that, as any guy knows, is that when you're just after watching friends getting killed and you might be next, you might be killed, there is no way you're getting your thing up in that circumstance. That's just not going to happen. You're terrified for your survival, right? This is when your thing shrivels up to the smallest it ever is, but I don't know. Maybe some guys get off of that.
I got to bring up
mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
I'll bring up this point. Did you not let's judge this movie on the horror level. It's a horror movie.
Yes.
Graphic scenes, very well done, executed. But what was different about this movie from other movies, it was all done in broad daylight. Like a lot of the horrific things happened in full color. And they used color in this movie to really get points across. Everybody had body paint on. The hairstyling was, you were blonde, you were redhead, you were the scenes where the tribe discovers the crew, the survivors of the plane crash, the activists, they're all they're like special beings because they're different. And the colors were vibrant. I appreciate that about this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of dark scenes in the village elder. She had what looked like different people's hair.
Yeah, I
layered on.
I thought they did a good creepy job of the tribalism, and then and didn't you like the performances by that witch, the leader woman? This wasn't a man-dominated tribe. It was a woman. It was kind of
it was a matriarch. Yeah.
Matriarch. And so it flipped it on its head where you think, it's a man that's ruling this thing. And it was creepy stuff, man. It was like, if they ever existed, this kind of people, gee, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it was really well done. I thought everything was well done. The acting was good. I thought there was one scene where I thought the acting was a little weak. But other than that, I thought it was pretty solid. I thought the scene where the spider almost bit his dick, and he comes running back into the boat, and then he's trying to look like he's traumatized from it.
Yeah.
That was just not believable. His acting there, I thought, was just not
Oh,
good.
there's scenes all throughout the movie,
Yeah.
but overall, wow, I kind of appreciate like the young people without their technology, and it's like the survival aspect. They try to, what an impossible situation, and
You did you expect anyone to live?
yeah. There's always the last girl, right? The last girl in the horror movies.
Not in an Eli Roth movie.
Well, she did survive, but right, like there was the last girl. And hey, wasn't there that one girl that got away and got into that canoe? What happened to her?
She died because that's where she sees she's eating the food, and at the bottom of her bowl she sees the tattoo off of that. It was the tattoo that girl that got away was in the bottom of her bowl, and then she looks over and sees kids playing with another piece of skin that has a tattoo from that girl.
Yeah, she died.
Oh, good point. Good point.
Yeah.
Okay. On the note of consumption, okay, there's the whole idea that a little bit of weed, marijuana, they try to put into that woman.
That was ridiculous.
They tried to shove it down her throat, and they did.
Yeah.
But come on, after you process and cook out someone, there's no way that amount of weed's gonna cause the whole tribe of people.
The whole community, even the guy that's way away from it, guarding them. How come the guy that's guarding them, he gets all stoned, but they're not all stoned, right? And he's just like,
within a movie that's
ridiculous,
pretty ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Well, hey, man, that's one of my critiques of it, right?
Oh no, I wrote that down too. Do you think the pot was enough for the whole village?
No, you'd have to have massive amounts.
Yeah, and then there's the scene where he goes. They're looking at him, and they start the red-headed guy, and he goes, "They got the munchies."
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
That was like, okay, really?
It's silly.
You're going to try to throw comic relief, and that was a feeble attempt at comic relief. It just did not fit in this movie. It was way too serious of a movie, and way too that did not make me laugh. That was just a stupid, I don't know what. Like,
oh, that was just a silly.
Well, it was things like that that made me think maybe these guys are just having a goof.
It's a goofy
movie. Good time. Yeah, maybe. It's all in the edit, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It actually, but what that did, all that really achieved is it took me out of the movie for a second. It's like, you're in the movie and it's because it's well shot, everything's being executed beautifully and it's totally believable. And then you have a moment like that and it just takes you, and same with the jacking off.
Yeah.
It was the same thing. It's like, those are two moments that kind of took me out of it. It was like.
That was not necessary.
It's to Steve's point. It's that's what takes you out where you can just picture guys having a good time and they're throwing in their stupid ideas. It's like
that character was a through and through just asshole, like prick, right? Ultimate, and that's okay, guys. Let's get to the end of the movie. What did you think? How they faked you out, thinking she told them that it was the tribe was all good to her, right? And then she wakes up and she
ridiculous.
Okay, let's go through awful. That.
Really? Because she went out there to activize for these villagers, and she did.
Was that fake? Was that a dream? Okay, which part of it was a dream then? Like,
no! I didn't say a dream.
No. Okay. John?
I didn't say it was a dream either. What are you talking about?
No, she wakes up from the dream that she bit. She was gonna eat. At
the very end, that you're talking.
Oh yeah,
a little bit. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I
that
thought
was a dream.
I said that.
Oh, okay. That's you're talking about the last literal few seconds
last
of the
10
movie.
minutes of the movie.
Yeah, for
it's
some
important,
reason,
right?
That didn't. For some reason, that didn't have a lasting effect on my head.
Oh
well, I mean, I don't know if you want to analyze that little scene where she's biting what's his face. I mean, she really killed him. I mean, she's responsible for his death in many ways, right?
So, okay, at the
So
very
she could feel like she's the savage in that instance.
yeah, but that was a dream, right? She dreamed that
Yeah.
she was it part of the dream that she told when she's being interviewed by the UN or
No.
whatever.
No, that was not part of the dream. No.
So she says to them, "Nothing happened to me. They treat me well." And
Yeah.
okay, so but she has a dream that she bites the guy, and then she wakes up from that, and she looks out the window, and she sees that there's people protesting to save that guy at the end.
Yeah. Or at least protesting in his memory.
Yeah, and he's been captive for 63 days. So what's the deal with that at the end?
He's already dead. Hopefully he's already dead. I don't know.
He survived. And people are treating him as a martyr, right? Because they think, oh, he's an activist. He's like someone we need to care about. But he was a piece of shit.
Yeah, but activism can be good, right? Even if it's done in a
I know, but
the name of a bad person.
The twist of it is that people are like believing he's like an amazing guy to to do that for them. But the heart of it is he's like a piece of shit that would do anything to make a buck or something. So
and get lucky.
Well, you can fault him, but he does actually have a valid point when he said, this is a publicity stunt, and once you get lots of attention, you are a more powerful activist group, right? And so that's not a completely lost point. He is a scoundrel. He is a dirtbag, but he's not, you can't say fault him completely for his plan, right?
So his mission is still pure, and he's going forth. And
no. I mean, does he deserve to die? Is I guess what I'm getting at.
He never did, but as an audience watching this, you never got the satisfaction of watching the bad guy die because he didn't.
Well, okay, so this guy's scuzzy. Yeah, he touches himself inappropriately. He's kind of trying to sleep his way around, but he did exactly what he said he was going to do.
This is true. Yeah,
he did exactly what he said he was going to do, and he didn't lie at any point. I thought it was going to be a scam where he was suckering all these people in. I don't know, and try and sell them as slaves or whatever. But no, he did exactly what he meant to do, and then they all got caught up in this crazy.
Well, that wasn't part of the plan. Them landing in the struggle.
No, that's right. Yeah, and if things had gone according to plan, no one would have been
the wiser.
Or even that angry at him. I mean, at the end of the day, when they realized that they got that what they did there got them this huge status, this huge coverage, and now they're actually are more of a powerful activist group. Yeah, they may have been everyone might have been just fine with that. They might have forgiven them for that, right? It wouldn't have been but the fact that they ended up, well, that's where they did. Of course, now he's a really, really bad guy now. But so I don't know.
Shall we get into this trivia?
I'm not sure I'm quite ready for trivia yet.
Okay, all right. Fire away, buddy. I'm ready.
I want to talk about the ending a little more. Okay. I think it's completely stupid that she's actually going to be able now to go back and keep this little secret to herself. That her friends, like soldiers go to war and they see their buddies get killed and stuff, and they got PTSD to the point where they can barely. And now she's gone and not just seen her friends like shot like soldiers see in war. She's seen them like eaten and their eyeballs. She's seen the most graphic, horrific things you could ever see as a human being. And she's just going to keep all that a little secret because it's more important for her to be an activist, right? And like she's not going to have PTSD over this and stuff. And like she's going to be able to keep that to herself for the rest of her life. No, of course not. She should be fucked up. She should need therapy for fucking months or years after seeing something like that. And so that's why the ending is just so ridiculous. To me, it's just absolutely no human being could go through what she went and then want to sit there and represent, do a lie where you have to internalize and keep that stuff as a secret to save the people that were the people that did this to your friends. And it's moronic. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. Yeah.
It's moronic.
It's stupid, ridiculous, dumb.
You're taking this too much to heart. I think they're,
Well,
it's just a horror movie, man.
Yeah. What does that mean? So that we just forgive it because it's a horror movie? They can have completely,
it touched. What is it? Because it disturbed you? Because it touched on some really dark issues that, like.
No, it's unbelievable. That's all.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of unbelievability in this movie, but it's a good commentary about the humanity. I think in this movie. I mean, we can get into that. The fact that, or do we want to?
I don't know about that. I just think it's a big gory fun. That's all.
Yeah,
it is. I think Steve, you hit it nail on the head.
Sure.
Hammer on the head. Nail on the hammer. Okay. Hammer on the nail.
Let me tell you guys, I watched this with my wife, so maybe that's why I'm
how did she like this movie? I gotta know.
Oh, Phil, you don't want to know, man. She actually said,
I do want to know.
She actually said, I think a little bit less of Phil now. That was exactly what she said.
This movie. Okay, let me say something.
She was joking. She was joking. She laughed, but she did say it.
Let me say this about this movie. After watching this movie, shouldn't the practice of eating meat be banned? It should be illegal. Because
no.
Let me explain. Because it's terrible. I mean, it's a slippery slope. You think you can eat? Oh, it's okay to eat this animal.
Yeah.
It's okay to eat that animal. And then when the fan, it's okay to eat my buddy over here.
Yeah. Where do you draw the line? Yeah.
This is a lesson, Steve.
It's not a gateway drug, man.
It's a lesson.
Well, but I see what you're saying, Phil. I mean, there is this funny thing where people go like, dogs, cats, no, they're our friends. Cows, chickens, we eat them.
No,
right?
I take away different things from this movie, I think, than you guys. I just commentary on the way that there's a scene where they're preparing the human meat for the tribe, and it's just part of life. And
they were treating it like
that was really cool. I really dug that. That they were like they went all in. They were like skinning him and
it was just what we do, right? It's just how we survive.
Chop.
Yeah, and it's no different than what we do to animals. It's exactly we do the exact same things when we're butchering.
Exactly, and it's kind of like, can we get beyond? We don't need to do that anymore. It's commentary to me that I'd like to be vegan. I know I'm a hypocrite for eating meat, and there's a part of me that just says, well, that's a commentary on if it's okay to eat a human. Well, it's okay to eat any kind of meat. I guess what I'm saying is I feel guilty for eating meat.
Well, hey, good on you, man. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad. That's a very honest. That's a very honest statement. I think if more meat eaters came forward and said, I eat meat, but I really wish I think I shouldn't. That's
there's a lot of things I'm guilty of feeling,
that's a big
right?
Step in itself, right?
But that just this movie was it just really opens your eyes. Like there was a time where we said we shouldn't eat humans, and that should be obvious. But then it seems like murders just happen constantly. We're just we're desensitized.
You're right. There's people that theorize that one day we will look back at the years of when humans ate animals and look back and go, wow, they were like barbarians back then. They would cut up animals and eat them. There's people that believe it. That day will come.
I think we will, but we're not there yet.
I have been experimenting with no meat dishes. I had this really awesome one-pan Mexican quinoa dish that I made recently.
There you go.
But what inspired that was I watched a David Attenborough documentary very recently, and he said two of the big problems that we're facing with the environment is just too many of us, and the stuff that we eat. right? So
Oh, totally.
so it says when people are happier, they make less babies. So it's true. It's true. And we can just eat less meat. I am perfectly fine morally eating all the meat I want, but from whatever animal, as long as it's well prepared. And but I definitely could eat less, and I can understand that. I can see that. It makes perfect sense to me. And I
barely ever eat meat, barely ever anymore, especially since COVID, because I don't go. I used to eat meat because I was in a hurry and I would stop and go through drive-thru. I don't go through drive-thrus now. So at home, we don't have meat in our house. We just don't,
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, well, it's good for my wife.
You, Phil, too.
Yeah, it's a something we should try to do more of, right? It's not easy because the whole system is built to feed you meat. So
yeah,
I'd love me some chicken wings.
Right?
Once you find about like a half a dozen really good recipes that are vegan, that's all you really need. That you just love. You start craving the stuff you eat, and that's what you think about. You're hungry. I'm going to cook up this, and you don't even think about meat anymore because it's not even on the menu. It's just your mind changes. Yeah. Yes. Because we started talking about this whole Green Inferno and them eating meat, trying to keep it relevant. I had one more thing to say about meat, and you mentioned a documentary there and stuff, is that there is not one single big issue in the world today that can't be related back to us humans' consumption of meat. Climate change, antibiotic resistance, MRSA, all that stuff, you name it, COVID, all this stuff.
That's it's a very big accusation.
We shouldn't be
water, lack of clean water for people.
Yep.
Once again, meat, every issue.
Yep.
Anyways,
religious wars, John.
is that, well, actually there you could, but that would be really stretching. Is that really on what's people's mind in North America, religious wars?
It was way back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, but that's not at the forefront of the biggest problems that might wipe out humanity is religious wars.
No.
I mean,
No, but we should probably get into trivia.
Yeah, let's get into trivia.
We should, yes.
The Green Inferno trivia. I got an extra one here. Because I was having fun with this trivia. When Eli Roth and his crew approached villagers to be extras in the film, he soon realized that they had never seen a movie. As a movie expert, part of me died reading that. Never seen a movie and had no concept of what one was. To demonstrate what a movie was, Eli brought a TV and a copy of Cannibal Holocaust, the 1980 classic, and had a screening for everyone. The villagers loved it, and they gladly acted in the film.
Okay, now is this, okay, I'm sorry, but does this not, reek of, Columbus giving, gold trinkets or little bells and stuff to steal the gold? I mean, really, what he's doing is he's coming there, giving them something that they go, wow, and then getting them to portray themselves as savages so that the rest of the world is going to view them as savages.
Hey, they're acting.
Yeah, but they don't know the implications of that.
Acting.
I mean,
and you know what?
This is how they're good, kind people that think it's fun and they're doing something but yet they're sending out a message to the Western world that they're in the Amazons, a bunch of savage people, which they're not. They're peaceful people. Okay, I got to give this up.
Right. No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Millions and millions and millions of people are going to watch this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And they have no concept of millions of people. And I know what you're saying. But at the same time, if they don't care, and they never care, if a tree falls in the woods, does anybody hear it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I got to let this go. It's just, all right. I'll let it go.
Overthinking this.
Okay, I'll let it go.
But I get your thoughts. I mean, it's a horrific Circumstance.
Okay, the next piece of trivia.
When the villagers were shown Cannibal Holocaust from 1980, since they never saw a movie before, they thought it was a comedy. I like that.
That is funny, but that makes total sense, right? If you're like the first time you ever saw like people moving around and doing something, that would be hilarious. If you've never seen it before, you're like, look at that! There's people in a box and they're doing things. I mean, that's going to be hilarious, right?
Yeah. And man,
here's the thing: people's sense of violence and graphic images are at an all-time low. People are so desensitized to things, and this movie to me in particular is very graphic. And if you can have this movie and laugh about it, it's disturbing because it was well done. This movie really depicted horror of being cut up and eaten in a way that I've never seen on a movie before. It's rare, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And if you're not disturbed by this movie and you laugh about it, it's disturbing. I think it's not a comedy.
all right.
But to those people, yeah.
All right,
Very
John,
true.
go for it, buddy.
All right. Okay. Eli Roth disclosed that the tribe offered a 2-year-old child to the production designer as a thank you for including them in the film. The production designer politely declined the offer.
Wow.
I think that's hilarious.
Wow.
Man.
I have nothing to say about that. It's just disturbing.
I don't want to touch that one. I don't want to touch that one. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, that's so funny. Oh.
I'm just gonna leave that one alone.
Just leave it alone. Just don't touch it. Don't touch it. Just leave it there.
I'm not
All I can say is, in that part of the world, this movie is like the best movie ever because they're so amazing that this Hollywood production came to their part of the world.
Yeah.
All right. So Christian missionaries sang religious songs on their boats as they arrived at the village. I'm sure there's a lot of Christian missionaries just wandering around. They weren't aware that the movie had been filming at the village and became alarmed when they saw all the gory props, including skeletons and dead bodies impaled on stakes. They sang louder until they were told about the movie being filmed. Then they were like, oh, it's just Hollywood.
Yeah, it's just those crazy white people and their silly things they do.
But these missionaries could very easily have been white.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Christian mission. Oh, sorry. Man, I wish I could erase that. Never mind.
It's all good.
Are you guys aware of a recent story of a Christian missionary that attempted to bring his word of God to this island, or island or part of I forget where, in which he was promptly eaten. This was a tribe that was still practicing that. They murdered him, and this part of the world was allowed to be that exist like that, and he went to a place where he shouldn't have. Did you hear about this?
No, when was this?
No, I didn't hear this.
Recent, I can Google it. It's a true story. He shouldn't have went there. And I'm fascinated on the planet right now. There's places where you shouldn't go to because people just don't see, your point of view.
I did hear this.
You did hear about this?
It's like an island or something.
Yeah,
right?
it's left.
It's an island. Where is that island again?
Man, I'm sorry.
No, I did hear this. Yeah, there's an island where the people that will kill everybody that comes on.
Yeah, they're left to exist, and this guy.
But whether they ate them though, I don't think that was.
He died apparently. I don't know
Yeah,
how they handled that. How do you go out there and investigate that with the police? You say, sir, this tribal guy. It's like they don't know. That's fascinating as hell to me that there's still existing people
So
that
first contact people that have
Yeah.
never.
so out of touch with our reality or our current lifestyles.
That's true.
Fascinating.
And maybe, I mean, and hey, they should probably kill everyone that comes on there because no good will happen to those people.
Yeah, if they let
it, yeah, exactly.
Well, think of it this way, Phil. It wasn't 100 years ago that they discovered that pandas were real. For the longest time, for hundreds of years, they thought pandas were like Sasquatch. They really thought
Like
they
unicorns or
they
something.
were mythical creatures, not real.
Yeah.
And then it was only recently, very recently, discovered that pandas existed. So
Yeah.
So I mean, there's still mysteries in the world.
Oh, there's plenty of mysteries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what's the next trivia here?
Oh yeah. Well, we have.
I got it.
Okay.
The film received a glowing response from horror novelist Stephen King, who tweeted that the film is like a glorious throwback to drive-in movies of my youth. Bloody, gripping, hard to watch, but you can't look away. I agree. Stephen King, you're the king. I agree.
I would have loved to have made this movie. Apparently, it was. They had a lot of fun making it. They made sure to inoculate all the actors that went down there, and they had to deparasite everybody. And it was just.
Oh.
And apparently, the bugs were really bad. At some point, some of the actors had to be hospitalized. It was just.
Really?
Oh my God!
Geez, Steve, you're bringing up all sorts of trivia. That's not trivia. This
I
is beyond trivia.
What? I have 5 points of trivia, which I usually have 4.
You just go. You go, Steve. Go. Tell us. Yeah.
I think I'm done. I'm just saying.
You got more. It seems like you're brimming with trivia.
I know I'm done.
I like this movie.
Yeah. Well, you know what,
John?
I'm sorry. I ran this thing through the ringers and stuff. And like I said, I did watch it with my wife.
I had fun with this movie.
But no. Hey, I thought it was done really well. I thought everything was, and like to me, this movie will stand out as the best gore I've ever seen. Like the most quality, well done. Right
there, you go. Thumbs up to the gore department.
Because,
right?
I mean, yeah, exactly. Like this was, it was actually looked real. There was no part of it that, and typically when I think gore movies, there's always an element of fake. This didn't have it.
Good job, guys.
Just didn't have it. It didn't have that element of like, that's not what it would look like. You know, it really did look like that. Like it would, you think it would look like.
Yeah.
I look forward to more Eli Roth movies, man. I dig his stuff. I think he does stuff that's just off, crazy, badass shit.
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
Yeah. Well, I liked the Green Inferno. I did believe in the gore. It was everything I expected it to be. It was the reasoning behind it might have left some me wanting a bit.
Yeah.
I understand what John's saying. I really do.
Some silly stuff, right?
Yeah. Here's the things, and I don't want to go down this too much, but the budget was $5 million, and the box office made $12.9 million, so you got a good decent profit margin there.
Yeah.
How much money, or what? Maybe money's not good to this tribe at all, but what did they do for this tribe in exchange for? Because they were central into making this movie what it was. I would love to know what they got paid, right? Or were they just, was it a case of Columbus? Was it a case of like, we gave you a bunch of you got to see yourselves on a screen and that's good enough? You know,
who knows? I'm sure it was.
Here's some peanuts. Dance, guys, dance.
Yeah,
I'm sure it wasn't. Hey, but throughout the history of movie making, I'm sure there's a lot of terrible stories of people being taken advantage of, and is littered with that. So it's not like this movie is
It's true. I mean, and
anything different.
further to your point is that you could have a famous actor working side by side with an unknown actor in the same movie, and they have the same amount of airtime throughout the entire movie, and one guy's getting paid fucking ridiculous money, and the other guy's getting paid next to nothing, right? That's just the way movies work.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a business, man.
Yeah.
What are you gonna at the end of the day? This movie to me did something really different and unusual.
Yeah.
And it was different. This movie was just shocking.
It was shocking.
It was
shocking.
It was shocking.
It was R-rated and then some. So
yes, yeah.
Check it out on Amazon Prime.
Right on.
Or don't check it out.
All right. Is that the Green Inferno?
Yeah.
I think that's the Green Inferno.
All right. Thank you so much. My name is Steve. I'm here with
John
and Phil. John and Phil. Next week, Monday at noon, we're covering. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be covering. Let's see, what is it? Oh, Spontaneous with Greg and Christian. Hopefully, that's the one where people explode.
What?
Yeah.
I can't wait.
They just spontaneously explode.
Yeah.
What?
Wow.
What?
Yeah, and it's a love story.
What? A love story, Steve. Tell.
According to the trailer, I haven't seen it, but according to the trailer, there is a disease going around that makes people explode, and it's discovered in this school in some suburb somewhere, and so they lock down the school and nobody can leave until they figure it out, and these two students they kind of fall in love with each other while everyone else around them is blowing up, and they don't know whether they're going to blow up or not. And it's
this sounds like quality filmmaking.
Oh yeah, I think
I'm
sorry I'm picking it with the other team, but
this has got to be the longest post game pick ever.
Anyway, I can't wait to talk about it. I can't wait for you to join us. PrimaryCritical.com. We got all our podcasts there. We're on the socials. We have a store. We have a movie. You need to check us out. Dig as deep as you want because it just keeps going. It just keeps going, people.
Yes, it does.
Is that it? Is that the Green Inferno?
That's it.
Oh, yeah, we covered that, I think.
Yeah.
We got
all right.
Peace.
Bye-bye, folks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.